Hello everybody, welcome. I'm Zodiac, welcome. So basically, in this tarot card reading, this is going to be for August the 19th to September 1st of 2025. So basically, in this wonderful reading, I just want to say to all that I hope you all enjoy it. Hope you guys can understand about what's going on in this way about knowing what to do, and you have to understand what it takes. So you have to know exactly how it is. You have your own basic notes and your basic ways about knowing what to do, but then this is how it is, right? So you have to believe that if everything seems to be fine, that's how it goes, right? So this is not, going to be rubbish or anything like else. But the way how this is, you have to be sincere. You have to know what it takes. You have to, believe that everything seems to be fine, right? Like, that's how it goes. But in theory, based on how everything is, you're going to understand that in the way how it goes. And you think that okay, everything seems to be fine, but yeah, that's the way it goes, right? So like a wonderful outcome, so like a here and now process. But yeah, this is the way it goes. And I hope you all like this video. Please give a like, please a comment if you want. But yeah, this is. I hope that you're all sincere. So this oracle card, it says pride. I love myself and I see myself in everyone. That's how it goes. When you show yourself to have pride, you know what it is. You know how you have your own basic needs. But when you have your own pride, you pay attention to what's going on, right? This is how it goes. But if you see yourself and you're basically recognizing about, other people or others or whatever it is, you have to do that exactly how it is, right? That's where it goes. But in theory, you have your own basic needs, and that's how it goes. You have to trust the process in that way. You have to know what it is in that way. So you have to go with the flow in that way. That's how it goes. And when things to be in that perspective, that's the way it goes. But you have to understand what it takes in that way, right? You have to exactly how it is. And when you do it, that's how it goes in that way. Alright? So that's how it goes. So we're going to figure out who's on the left side, who's on the right side. Let's see who's going to be in the middle of this situation. So this is how it is in that way. So here we go. So in this way, we have the King of Swords, King of Cups is upright. The King of Cups represents Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in that way. So it's like you have support, you know what it is, but you have to have your own priorities to understand what it takes in that way. So you have to know what it is in that way, and you think, okay, this seems to be fine. Alright, this is not practical, but that's how it goes in that way. The Nine of Swords here is there's no drama in this situation, like trauma in this situation. But the way how this is, you're trying to know what it is. You're trying to go with the flow because you have to pay attention to what you want. But then you have to proceed with caution. You have to have your own discipline to know what it is because you're trying to believe about how it goes in that way. It's like, all right, you know what to do. All right, I got this, but this is how it goes. You're trying to be sincere. You're trying to have your own, abundance or your own opportunities to understand that, right? That's how it goes. But you have to understand that when you have your own pride or when you pay attention, you have to know what it takes in that way, right? That's how it goes. So let's see what's going on. So let me clarify the left side, please. Queen Wands reverse, there's no charisma. Death card is upright, there's endings. But two of the Six of Cups is upright, there's the past. Yeah, so you might be focusing on endings. You might be focusing on another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio in that way. But you have to pay attention to what you want, what you get, because that's how it goes in that way, right? So if you're representing, endings are going to come up, that's how it goes in that way. But when you're focusing on the past, you're stuck on the past, right? You're not moving forward, you're moving backward. It's like, why are you doing it? That's how it goes in that way. So you have to try to figure out what you get, what you want, but you have to proceed with caution in that way. It's like, I know what it is, but this is how it seems to be in that way. You have to go with the flow. When you do that, that's how it goes in that way. Because you're trying to master your own decisions. You're trying to understand what it takes. Because that's how it goes in that way. You're trying to go with the flow. You have to pay attention because that's how it is in that way. What's happening with this Nine of Swords here? Wheel of Fortune yours, you're having bad luck. The Justice yours, you're not telling the truth. The Sun carry yours, there's negativity. Yeah, obviously that's how it goes. It's like, why are you doing it? Why that everything's not going as planned? Because you have to know what it takes. It's like, you're trying to do exactly what it is, but then you have to understand that. It's like, why are you going to be focusing about having negativity, or when you're having bad luck, or when you're not telling the truth, or you're lying about something. It's like, you have to understand that you have to set your own priorities. That's how it goes. And when things to be in that perspective, you know how it is in that way. It's like, alright, I know what to do, alright, I got this, but that's how it goes. You're trying to underline about how you're feeling in that way. It's like you go with the flow. When you go with the flow, you pay attention to how it goes. So let me clarify on the left side, please. The Sun card reverse, there's negativity. The Tower reverse, there's transformation. The Taurus reverse, there's no decisions. The Emperor reverse, there's no structure. But the Hangman reverse, there's no restriction. Magician reverse, there's no skill. The Death card reverse, there's no endings. High Priestess reverse, there's no inner voice. Judgment reverse, there's no action. But the Devil is upright, yeah, because you're being obsessed. Maybe you're having violence. Maybe you're not having a good day. That's how it goes in that way. It's like, why are you doing it? Because things are not letting go. So you might be stuck with Capricorn as another Earth sign. You're trying to figure out why you're going to be doing that in that way, and you're trying to tackle what you're doing in that way, right? That's how it goes. Let's see on the right side, please. Moon reverse is misrotation. Star reverse is inspiration. And the Hierophant, alright, there's guidance. Yeah, exactly. So when you're focusing about having your own guidance, you pay attention to what you're going to be getting in that way. You're trying to do exactly how it is. You're trying to set your own priorities, because you have to understand that. So you're trying to figure out who's on the left side, who's on the right side, but you don't know who's in the middle. Not yet. But that's how it goes, right? So this is how it's going to be in this way. This is why it seems to be like a puzzle, but you have to understand about how it goes in that way. So let me see what's going on with this Devil card here. The 9 of Wands reverse, there's no immaturity. The Emperor is upright, there's structure. But the Magician is upright, there's skill. Yeah, exactly how it is. You know how it is in that way, because you're trying to pan out. You're trying to know what it takes in that way. It's like, okay, everything seems to be fine. Alright, I know what to do. But that's how it goes in that way. So you're trying to use your own structure, because you're trying to figure out about the here and now process, because you understand that that's how it goes. What's between on the right side with this Hierophant? Moon reverse, there's misrotations. The World is upright, there's completion. The 3 1 is upright, there's communication. Yeah. So you might be doing it in a Leo, Aries, Sagittarius in that way, because you're trying to focus what you want, what you get, but then you have to try to deal with things in that way. You're trying to figure out, oh well, this just seems to be very interesting. I know what to do, but then it's like, why I need to do it? It's like you have your own past mistakes. You have to know exactly how it is. So let's see what's in the middle of this situation, please. Knight of Swords here. There's no drama in this situation, not yet, but you have to give it time. So you have to know what it is in that way, because you have to go with the flow, because you have to have the way how it goes. So let's say from the middle to left, middle to right. Moon is upright, there's misrotations. Devil reverse, there's no obsessions. 2 of Swords reverse, you're in which path you're going to take. 9 of Wands reverse with no maturity. High Priestess is upright, there's no voice. 9 of Pentacles reverse, you're feeling uncomfortable. Exactly how it goes. So what's between the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles? Taurus reverse, there's no healing. 5 of Pentacles is upright, yeah, because you're looking for money in that way, because you're trying to figure out what it is. So when you're feeling like you're feeling uncomfortable, things are not going as planned, that's how it goes. You're trying to go exactly how it is. You're trying to accept what you want, what you get, what you proceed, because that's how it goes. It's like, oh, okay, this is how it is. This is not global warming. This is not how it goes. But you understand how it takes. If you use your own pride, you pay attention to what you're going to be doing in that way, right? That's how it is, because that's how it is. If you love yourself and you see yourself in everyone, you understand that. That's how it goes, right? So you have to know what it is in that way. So you might be dealing with another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus. You might deal with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You might deal with Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. That's how it goes in that way. What's between the middle and the right side, please? The 7 of Cups is alright. There's a delusion. 7 of Pentacles is alright. You're looking for your career. 8 of Wands reverse, there's no speed. Empress is alright. There's no enrichment. Exactly how it goes. So it's like, if you're having no speed, it's like you're thinking like, oh, this is not going to end well. It's not. That's how it goes. If you are in a delusion or you're having a deja vu moment, that's how it goes in that way. It's like, oh, okay, this just seems to be in that way. So it's like you know how it is in that way because you're trying to figure out what you're going to be doing in that way. It's like, oh, everything seems to be fine. Alright, I know what to do. That's how it goes. What's in the middle of this situation, please? Someone to separate, yeah, because you're feeling like you're having resilience, that's how it goes. And when you do that, you're trying to accept what you want, what you get, but you have to, decide of how it goes. You're trying to be like, oh, everything seems to be fine, but then it's like, why? That's how it goes. And when things be in that perspective, you're trying to know how it is. So let me try to figure out what's in the middle, to the left, middle, to the right. Taurus is upright, there's healing. Aquarius, there's no invoice. Emperor is upright, there's nourishment. Star is upright, there's inspiration. Wheel of Fortune is upright, you're going to have good luck. Justice is upright, you're telling the truth. Yeah, exactly. So you know what it is, but you're trying to be mindful. You're trying to know what it takes in that way. So you have to understand how it goes in that way. What's between the middle and the right side, please? The Emperor is upright, there's structure. Taurus is upright, there's transformation. Fool of yours, there's no change. The moon of yours, there's no misrotations. The Hermit is upright, you're looking for a soulmate, or you're looking for solitude, because that's how it goes. It's like, okay, everything seems to be fine, but that's how it goes. Excuse me. But that's how it goes in that way, because you're trying to figure out what you're going to be doing in that way. So it's like everything seems to be fine. So I'm going to clarify. I'm going to clarify the star card. So let's see what's going on. Taurus is upright, there's healing. Empress is upright, there's nourishment. Taurus, there's no transformation. The Emperor, there's no structure. Taurus is upright, yeah, because you're feeling obsessed, or you're feeling like you're having addictions or whatever. You're trying to figure out why you're doing it, because you're trying to understand that. You're trying to not intervene. You're not trying to do that. But the way how this is, you're trying to know what it takes, but you have to go with the flow in that way. If you're using pride, if you're using whatever it is, that's how it goes in that way. It's like, alright, I got this, but that's how it goes in that way. What's between this Hermit card on the right side? Death card is upright, there's endings. Justice of yours, you're not telling the truth. Taurus of yours, there's no decisions. The Hermit is upright, there's solitude. Yeah, because you're trying to figure out that you're looking for a soulmate, maybe you're not, but that's how it goes in that way. It's like, why are you doing it? Why are you trying to undertake that? That's how it goes. So, let me see what's going on with this Hermit card here. But just is upright, there's skill, the Devil is upright. Yeah, so you're trying to figure out that you're trying to have that's how it goes. You're trying to know what it is, because you were focusing on other, violence, or maybe you're not having, like, everything's okay, but everything's not okay. That's how it goes. So what's happening with this Death card here? The World Reverse is incompletion. The Hairpin Reverse is no guidance. Death card Reverse is no endings. The Tower is upright. Yeah, so it does represent where you're looking for a soulmate, maybe you're looking for decisions, maybe you're trying to, try to figure out how it is. You're trying to know exactly what it takes, because it's beyond about that point. You're trying to know how you're going to do it in that way. It's like you're trying to go with the flow. It's like, yes, but this is how it goes. It's like, alright, I know what to do, but then this is how it is. I'm trying to, expand of how I'm feeling in that way. You're trying to know how it is in that way. You're trying to focus on the ability from knowing what to do in that way. So let me see what's going on. So let me go from the middle to left, middle to right. Five of Swords is upright, there's conflict. Emperor is upright, there's structure. Knight of Cups, there's no romance. King of Wands is upright. They Cups, there's no deceitment. Nine of Pentacles is upright, you're feeling comfortable. Exactly, but you're not feeling comfortable when you're having revenge, or you're having conflict, and you're not getting, yourself out there. But the way how this is like, why you keep doing it? Why you're trying to mess up? Why you're trying to indicate about what's happening in that way? It's like, oh, well, I don't know what to do. See, it's like, when things are not going as planned, it's like, why you keep doing it, You're trying to, sacrifice? or whatever it is, you're trying to figure out that you're trying to do it. You're trying to like not to have self-sabotage, whatever it is. But why you're feeling like this, it's like you need to understand about what's happening in that way. You have to go with the flow in that way. What's between the middle and the right side? The Hermit Upright, there's solitude. Ten Cups Upright, there's delusion. King Pentacles Upright, there's insecurity. There's Queen Wands Reversed, there's no charisma. Chariot Reversed, there's no progress. The Strength Card Reversed, there's no bravery. Six Wands Reversed, there's no celebration. The Four of Wands is upright, there's celebration. Exactly how it goes. So you understand what it takes in that way, because you're trying to understand that. Let's handle this situation. Magician's upright, there's skill. Yeah, because you're paying attention to what the universe is saying. You're trying to understand about how it's going to be. This is like how it's going to be. You know, and when things will be into that perspective, you know how it goes in that way, because you have to set your own self to understand that. So that's how it goes. So let me try to figure out what's on the left side. The Nine of Pentacles here. So you're feeling uncomfortable. You're feeling uncomfortable in that way. Okay. What's in the middle? You want to start with your speed. All right. What's on the right side? Before sorry, you're gonna have good luck. So what's happening with this Nine of Pentacles? So you're feeling uncomfortable. Tarot Reverse, there's no transformation. High Priestess upright, you're using your own voice. What's happening with this tarot card? The Empress upright, you're having structure. Yeah, the ability that you have to know about using your basically inner voice, because that's how it goes. It's like you're trying to figure out about what's going to be happening in that way. It's like, alright, I know what to do, but then not have to be exactly how it is. It's like, okay, things will be exactly how it is, because I'm trying to figure out how it is. I'm not trying to improve myself wrong or whatever it is. I'm trying to do exactly what I'm told to do, because that's how it goes. It's like you have to go with the flow because you pay attention to it in that way. What's happening with this 8 Wands here? The Four of Cups is upright, you want distraction. Five Pentacles is upright, you want money. In that way, right? So, you know, when you have a distraction, you want to pay attention to it. You want to have money because you're trying to figure out what you want, what you get, what you desire, what you deserve, because that's how it goes. So it's like, alright, everything's going to be fine, alright, I'll plan this out, I know what to do, but that's how it goes. It's like, you have to know what it takes in that way, because you're trying to set your own priorities, because you have to know what it is. And when you do that, you have to know exactly how it goes. So it's like you have to think, okay, everything's fine, alright, I got it. But that's how it is in that way. It's like, alright, this is how it goes. And when you do that, that's how it seems to be in that way, because you're trying to understand that. When you go with the flow, you pay attention on what you get, what you want, but you have to proceed with caution. You know, that's how it goes. So you might be dealing with another Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. You might be dealing with another Leo, Aries, Sagittarius. You might deal with another Virgo, Capricorn, Taurus, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. Like, there is actually 12 zodiac signs in this picture. Like, no doubt about it. But that's how it goes in that way. It's like, alright, I know what to do, but it's just how it seems to be in that way. What's happening with this Wheel of Fortune? The Empress is upright, there's nourishment. The Death card reversed, there's no endings. Queen Cups reversed, there's no empathy. The Strength card is upright, yeah, because you want to have strength, you want to be brave, because that's how it goes. You have to encounter what you want, what you get, what you provide, because that's how it goes. It's like, okay, things are going to be working out, alright, I got this, but then it's like, you know, you're trying to not improve yourself wisely, you're trying to not, get the wrong of getting the right, but that's how it goes in that way. So let's see what the universe is saying here. What's between the middle and the right, middle to the left? 6 1, sorry, there's achievement, alright. Hangman is alright, there's stillness. The 10 of Swords, sorry, there's conclusions. 10 Cups reversed, there's no, or 2 Cups reversed, there's no relationships or friendships. 2 Swords reversed, you're not in the crossroads. Those already you're making decisions. Exactly. If you're focusing about not having friends, or if you're not relationships or friendships, it's like there's something that was wrong with that picture. But the way how this is like you have to go with the flow. You have to know what it takes, because that's how it goes in that way. So you're trying to figure out what you want, what you get. But when you have the Hangman, you have restrictions, because you're being restricted of, what to do, what not to do. But that's how it goes in that way. It's like you're trying to proceed with caution, because you're trying to know what it is. So when you're making decisions, You know how it goes in that way because you have to know what it is in that way. That's how it goes. What's between the middle and the left side? 4 of Wands here, there's no celebration. 6 of Stars, there's a delusion. 3 Stars here, no heartbreak. Tower over there's transformation. Hierophant over there's guidance. Yes, exactly. So you have to know exactly how it is because you have to go with the flow and you have to understand that, right? That's how it seems to be. And when you do that, that's how it goes in that way because you're trying to accept what you want and you have to know what it is in that way. That's how it goes. And you have to provide what you're doing in that way. What's in the middle of this situation? The 8 Pentacles is alright. There's perfection, yeah, because you're thinking that everything's going to be perfect in that way because you have to acknowledge what you're doing in that way because you have to understand that, right? That's how it goes. But you understand what it seems to be in that way because you're feeling like everything seems to be fine, but then it's not, right? That's how it goes. So you have to know about the basic wants, the basic needs, the basic how you're going to be doing in that way because you have to know about how you're showing your guidance or showing about achievement or having your own decisions, whatever it is. You have to know about how it is when are you making your own ways about what to do. That's how it goes. So you have to understand about the right and wrong perspective. That's all you can do, but it's based on that. It's based on deliberity. It's based on how you're going to be doing it. It's based on how you're going to be, everything seems to be fine. But you have to understand about nowadays. You have to understand about you have to improve yourself wrong. You have to try to improve yourself right instead of wrong. You know what I mean, right? That's how it goes. And when you go with the flow, you have to pay attention to it. There's no doubt about it. So you have to know exactly what the universe is saying. You have to go with the flow. You have to pay attention to what you want, what you get. But then you have to stand that. So that's how it goes. But I hope you all like this video. Please give a like. Please give a comment if you want. But that's how it goes. So I hope you all like this video and enjoy. And I'll see you next time. Because this is how it is. And this is the way it seems to be. So this is, thank you to all of you. Have a good day. I'll see you next time. Thank you. And have a nice day. Thank you. Bye for now. Really thanks. And bye.